What up, everybody? This is your boy Money Marv, the hip hop conversationalist, and I would like to welcome everybody to the Money Marv Report. This is the reboot of the Money Marv Report. I'm so excited. I'm ecstatic. I don't know how to say it. I got a dope guest for everybody. This brother is amazing with his talent, his craft, and everything. The one thing that I want to do first and foremost, rest in peace to my brother DJ Face Off. His birthday was Sunday during the storm. So I'm gonna say that was King Face Off coming through, making it rain on everybody. My brother, rest in peace, rest in power, King. I miss you. If it wasn't for you, I would not be doing what I'm doing today. Our friendship will forever live on. We will always be connected. My mother, your mother, may your mother rest in peace as well. Shout out to your family, everybody that's supported me. But I wanted to just say happy birthday, heavenly happy birthday to you, my brother. And I miss you. I'm always gonna miss you. We rocking chapter 45 right now. And I'm with you, bro, man. And shout out to everybody that's on the check-in. Please hit the like. If you on YouTube, please subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Let us know how you feel. What up, cuz? Thanks for the congratulations again. I'm not answering no calls right now, y'all. I'm live. This is the reboot, the relaunch of the Money Marv Report. And listen, everybody, comment, like, please share. Every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Money Marv will be live on YouTube, Facebook, all that other good stuff. And listen, y'all, I'm ecstatic to be doing this again. And I just wanted to just let everybody know once again, I got a dope guest on the Money Marv Report coming in about 9:15-ish. I'm going to say 9:50, quarter after that, you know what I'm saying, 15 minutes after the hour, and we're going to chop it down. Oh, man, a lot of crazy stuff been going on in the world. I don't know. I always keep up with current events, and I love to watch the news and, all that other good stuff. And I see everybody, I'm just going to say that I'm not a Biden supporter, but I support him pulling our troops out. We've been over in Afghanistan for way too long, and it's time for people to come back home and be with their families. A lot of young men and women have lost their lives to this war that's been going on for the last 20 years. And I'm just going to say, like, it's time to hang it up. Let's stop all the nonsense. Let's bring the people home. Let's get the people back in with their families. So, like I said, I'm not a Biden supporter. You know what I'm saying? I don't support the Democratic Party at all, but I do support him bringing the troops home and everybody, you know what I'm saying, that's been over there fighting for our country. My hat goes off to you, ladies and gentlemen, that's been fighting for our country and fighting for, for us to be safe. You know what I'm saying? Us to be safe here in America and our own home playing field. And so I'm all for that. And I'm going to just get off that, but I had to just touch on that really quick because, it's time to bring the troops back home. And there's a lot of veterans out here that don't get their just due regarding this 20-year long civil war we've been having going on, and you know what I'm saying, with Afghanistan. And I think that more people should be on board with that. So I definitely support Joe Biden on that. Anything else, I don't support Joe Biden on. I'm sorry, I can't. You know what I'm saying? And if you black, I don't think you should. That's just my opinion. Don't mean I'm right. Opinions are like assholes, and everybody got one. So whatever. You get what I'm saying? Whatever. Shout out to my cousin Anessa down there in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Tennessee, in the Tennessee, Alabama area. Shout out to her for dropping a comment on the check-in. And I'm gonna introduce I'm gonna let y'all know, man. Shout out to my man. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna come to the show. Listen, we're gonna talk some talk. We're gonna have some fun, and we just gonna do what we do. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I actually haven't done the Money Marv report live. I tried it once, and I didn't really like the way it came out, but I love the way it's coming out tonight, y'all. I love the way it's coming out tonight. You know what I'm saying? So once again, everybody, thank you for your support. Thanks to my guest who's been, spamming and sharing and showing love and just being a comrade and a brother of the Money Marv Report movement. And I thank you sincerely just for doing the work that you've been doing, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Anthony, who hit like. Shout out to him. Shout out to my man and DJ Stitches. And let me let y'all know something. Just because the Money Marv Report is on Tuesday nights does not mean that I'm abandoning the hip hop shop. The hip hop shop is going to be Sunday nights, 5 p.m. to 7. Me and DJ Stitches, aka Charlie Rock, you know what I'm saying, formerly of De La Soul, the legendary hip hop group De La Soul. So shout out to DJ Charlie Rock, aka DJ Stitches. Shout out to my man DJ Sure Enough, big supporter of mine since my Strong Island TV days. Shout out to everybody that's supporting me tonight, because this is the relaunch, the reboot of the Money Marv Report. And listen, everybody, make sure y'all smash that like button, hit that share button. We're gonna talk tonight. Listen, man, I'm back in rare form, rare energy. My spirit is feeling good. I'm feeling good. And make sure y'all go out there and go to teespring.com and cop some of this Music Man apparel. You see this? This is, you know what I'm saying, off the Music Man apparel clothing brand, the hip hop conversation. You can get the Money Marv Report shirt. You can actually, you know what I'm saying, we got the water bottles, the stainless steel all white water bottles with the black logo, as you see back here in the back on there. You know what I'm saying? We got the 16-ounce clear glasses with the black logo on it. We got, and let me explain what the Music Man apparel clothing line is about. It pretty much represents music. You know what I'm saying? And we honoring our black musicians. So make sure you get you a Miles Davis t-shirt, the Trumpet Man t-shirt, Louis Armstrong t-shirt. Make sure y'all get one of those. We got the Piano Man, the Duke Ellington t-shirt. So the Music Man apparel is basically, you know what I'm saying, is to honor our black musicians and everybody all the black musicians who made a contribution into music, that made music what it is today. If it wasn't for the likes of Duke Ellington and Miles Davis, Louis Armstrong and Billie Holiday and all those other black music, you know what I'm saying, black American musicians that actually, you know, contributed to music. Like, yo, listen, like, support the Music Man clothing apparel. Listen, go to teespring.com, put in Music Man clothing, apparel clothing, I'm sorry. And listen, man, you know what I'm saying? You see how this look? This fly right here. This real fly right here. This is that real fly joint, man. Listen, I'm gonna put a link in the comment box. Shout out to everybody that's in the comment box that's rocking with me heavy right now. Shout out to my man Supreme Network, you know what I'm saying, who does you know what I'm saying, Steam Pro cleaning and all that type of stuff. So yeah, so shout out to everybody that's, you know what I'm saying, that's fucking with me, man. DJ Sure Enough, my brother, man, from another, you know what I'm saying, like that's fucking with me. Shout out to everybody that gave a like, even if I don't know you. Thank you for liking. Thank you for tapping in with your boy Money Marv. But I talk too much, so I'm gonna bring in the man of the hour into my broadcast, and I'm gonna just wait till he get on the screen. Peace and love, my brother. Everybody, let me give this brother his roses. First of all, let me give y'all the proper introduction to this brother. This is the legendary New York City comedian, my man, my brother, my fellow comrade, Mr. George Mason himself. George Mason, man, welcome to the Money Marv Report. It is an honor and a pleasure to have you on the Money Marv Report. How are you?
It's a blessing to be here, brother. And that's a fact. I'm like almost speechless. It's a fucked up time to be speechless, right?
I got you.
But I want to thank you. You know what I'm saying? You know, when we first linked up and I met you in the 2009, it was the chemistry there. And I felt
definitely.
And no doubt. And I just want to say to your, rest in peace to was that DJ Face Off?
Yeah, DJ Face Off, and
rest in peace to him. My condolences to you and for your brother. And man, you were talking about the current events when you touched on with Biden. I thought you was gonna go into the whole thing with Cuomo was jumping off with him as well.
Oh man, you know what's crazy? I was gonna touch that a little bit, but it'd be sticky sometimes, but I'll touch it real quick with you. I'm gonna say this, like I said, I'm not a Democrat. I am a black Republican, proud black Republican. I'm not a Democrat, but I will say for Cuomo, I don't think that he really did anything that was out of pocket. I think he was flirting a little bit, shooting his shot here or there.
He's the gov. He's the man. He's that dude. So come on. He's going to grab a little ass. The other motherfucker, he was grabbing pussy.
Yeah.
Grabbing them by the pussy. So why can't he grab a little ass? Huh? If he did that.
True.
But like you said, he was probably just flirting. He's Italian. That's what they do. That's their nature. They have that, and he's a young, he was 63, so it was like that.
I just think that I will say this, you know what I'm saying, the PTB, you know what I mean, the powers that be, didn't want Cuomo there anymore because of the nursing home scandal with all the dead bodies and the passing of the people. To me, from just me, you know what I'm saying, being an observer of the news, of the media, I'm just thinking it has more to do with, the death toll from the coronavirus and the pandemic and the nursing homes and everything like that. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the PTB wanted him up out of there.
It's a his job, no question about it. There's more to it than they tell us about. And if you really understand politics to a certain degree, as you said, that's basically what it is. It's something.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of course, because think about this. It only makes sense. Look, they know he's an undercover narcissist dickhead. We all know that. I never even met Cuomo, but I could tell that he's a narcissist. He's a dickhead. And they like, yo, he don't want to step down. Of course he didn't want to step down because they like, yo, look, man, the PTB, they like, listen, you out of here. You got to go.
You got to go.
And if it take 20 women to say that you did something, we getting you up out of here. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even mess with that Me Too movement at all. And real quick, before you speak, my brother, you know what I'm saying? I'm a man of a certain age, just like Mr. Mason is a man of a certain age, right?
Yes, sir.
And, being a person like myself who's been through the penal system, you know what I'm saying? I don't even need no more criminal charges at all. So I'm always going to watch my etiquette when I'm dealing with women, especially and this business, this industry, and even just being in the regular world in general. As
Right.
men, you got to watch yourself when you're dealing with these females. And it's not a knock to the ladies, and I'm not bashing the women or anything like that. But I'm just saying, being a man like myself, who's a convicted felon, who's a repeater offender, misdemeanor, got a long rap sheet. Listen, I don't need none of that. None of that crazy on my jacket. No, I'm avoiding that.
Yeah, for real. That's what's up. You know what? You was talking briefly, well, about your merch. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know, but I purchased a tea in the bottle. And I see the Hennessy in the back. I don't know. I purchased the tea. Do I get a bottle of Henny with that?
Oh, you see that? yo, wow, you caught that. You know, this Hennessy is for show, man. But man, you more than welcome to it. So now, my brother, man, go ahead.
No, it's just sad. But
I want to sincerely thank you.
A little bit in the you know, I got the third is coming. This shit does look fine. Yeah, I said, well, fuck it, let me do that. You know, I want the red. Got the black. I ordered the red one, but I like that one. What you got on right now? Yeah, I got one of those as well. That's nice. But that's what's
thank you, my brother. I sincerely appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Supporting it and just being a support of this whole movement right here. I sincerely thank you. So now let's jump into this because we ain't even gonna take no more time up. So now let's let everybody know who you are and where you from. Let's get some bio on you. Let's get the people from bio on you and let them get an understanding of who you are.
Yeah. George Mason. Right now I'm in Far Rockaway in the Rock. Everybody, like, you know, when you say Far Rock, nobody want to fuck with this out here, right?
Yeah,
that's just crazy, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm born in Brooklyn. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn. And my grandmother, she hit the number when I was about, like, I think 6-7 years old. We moved to Queens. We moved to South Side. Right? I'm 6 years old. I've been in the comedy game, for 36 years. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. I've been in there a minute. And I mean, it doesn't show, maybe, you know, whatever, but, you know, because I eat healthy. You know, I Debbie cakes, Intimate Apple Puffs, Cheerios. So my diet is very good. You know what I'm saying? So,
You got that old school up north shit going on. That's what you talk. That's what you telling me without saying it. You got that old school up north shit going on. Listen, nigga, this is Jack Mack. This is I'm just teasing you, man. I'm just teasing.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just messing with you, brother.
But it's all, man. And I've been out there. I've worked with just about everybody in the business. When I say everybody, I opened for a lot of different acts: Sinbad, Dionne Warwick, Jerry Butler, Michelle Farrell, John Lucien. I with the rappers with Ice Cube. Brandon was there. We did a thing some years ago at the Audubon in Harlem, uptown, and Brandon was on the show. Ice Cube, and you know those cats. When you was talking about De La Soul, you know your whole like movement. What struck me about you was the whole, you know, the hip hop conversationalist. That right there is deep, you know. And that I love hip hop, but I love the old school. These new cats, this new generation, yo, I'm not. You got some guys that have bars like Kendrick Lamar, and you know, Big Keith, and you know those cats like that. They can spit, they can get down. But what I had, you know, from our era, from, you know, Public Enemy, we had the social content, the social rap, cats that were prolific,
yeah, intelligent,
and they very rarely curse. if you really, you know your history, you know the deal.
Oh, of course, definitely.
And I met you at for a little background for the history for our viewers at a hip hop old school gathering in Springfield Park, and Spoonie G was supposed to be there. I was a big Spoonie G fan. You know, he coined the phrase hip hop. I know you know that. In 1979, he was the one who coined the term hip hop, right? You know, and so I thought that was interesting, the whole thing, where everything came together. And but as far as the comedy goes, Sinbad gave me a shot. I was on tour with that brother, and we did with several gigs and standing ovations, pack houses, 2,500 seats, 2,700 seats. I worked 4,000 a seat arena up in Big Birch, upstate New York, and so I've been around. Bill Bellamy. I met Dave Chappelle when he was about 15, when he was a kid, and we were on the show at the comic group. We were auditioning for Showtime at the Apollo. That's when Sinbad was hosting it. That's where he saw me, liked me, and he, you know, took me with him. But yeah, Chappelle was 15.
Okay, so you start so real quick. So now you mentioned Sinbad. Sinbad is definitely one of the greats to do it. So he gave you kind of your break. Oh, is what you're saying a little bit, or kind of just, you know, gave you correct?
Yeah,
if I'm wrong, if I'm saying that wrong.
Well, no, actually, it was like he put me on, you know, as far as a break. He put me out there, you know. He looked out for me along those lines, you know. And when I first started, what we had back then was what they call the three clubs, like the top three, like the comic strip, the improvisational, and Catch a Rising Star. Those were the clubs that you would work your craft as a comedian. And if you were fortunate to go, well, not even fortunate, what we did was to go every Sunday. For a lot of you would see like Chris Rock, you would see those cats online, standing online to draw numbers to see who was going to go on that night at 9:00 on a Sunday night.
Oh, okay.
Like the improvisational, that kind of thing. And that's where I started. Like now you have so many different clubs where you can go up, and different social media outlets, TikTok, such and such and so on. So it's a lot easier. You know,
yeah.
I played the Disco Fever back in the day. Remember the Fever? Yeah. That was over 167th and Jerome Avenue back in 86, right before it closed down. About 3 weeks, you had Barry B, Melly Mel, because they had the Gong Show. Before the Apollo, or they would boo you off the stage, you get gongs off the stage. It was fun. You know what that shit was like? You had that cats up there on the stage. Barry B, Sweet G used to was the host. You had Mr. Magic, those cats. You know, so I come from a whole, you know, a different era as far as stand-up. You had to know your stuff, and not saying that these young men don't now, but it's like I'm also a football coach. Right?
Gotcha.
And my boy, you know, I'll shout him out, Coach Woodfield. He always tells his players, be a student of the game. Across the board with anything. What I always dug and respected about Mike Tyson, he was always a student of the game.
Yeah.
Right? He knew his, you know, Gus D'Amato taught him, you know, trained him when he was very young, you know, and we had some incredible fighters back in the day. You know, in every weight class. Alexis Whale, Aaron Pryor, Roberto, you know what I'm saying?
Of course, because I used to be an ex-amateur boxer myself. You know what I mean? So, you know, And you know, I learned I had a mean knuckle game, learned my dipping back in '95 when Pernell Whitaker was sticking. So I get it.
Yeah. Nah, Sweet Pea was nice. Sweet Pea was nice.
Rest in peace to Pernell Whitaker too, man. Rest in peace to Pernell Whitaker as well. You know, another legend in the fight game. As you talk about boxing, I just want your opinion really quick because we just having a conversation.
Yes.
What you think about that Manny Pacquiao fight?
You know, Pacquiao, you know, he's seen the better day. He's done. You know, let it go, Manny. You had your day. You're a bad motherfucker. You're in the Hall of Fame. You're rich. You're a congressman. You're in politics. What else? You're getting more pussy than you need. All right.
Yeah. No doubt.
What else you want? What you trying to prove, big? Straight up. You know, you done.
Definitely.
You already proved your point. What? You know?
I agree. I definitely agree. I think Manny Pacquiao needs to hang up the gloves.
Let it go. Yeah.
And stop the foolishness. So now brother Mason. So let me ask you this: when did you discover that you wanted to be a comedian? At what age?
You know what? I got it around, let's say 25, 26. I did some impressions. I did voices and stuff like that. And, you know, I'm a big fan, you know, if you're black and you in the comedy game, if you don't like, you know, you're not feeling Richard Pryor, you're not feeling comedy. You know, you're not feeling you know, Richard, because everybody across the board can ID with Mr. Pryor, with Richard. Okay?
Gotcha.
From that school with Red Fox, Richard Pryor, and then with Red Fox, he had Skittle and Leroy, Slappy White, LaWanda Page. That school, you know, the vaudeville era, the chitlin circuit. But then, you know, around 25, I said, you know what? Let me see. I just always had that urge. You know, I wasn't say so much the class clown, never that. But
Gotcha.
I like to be, who doesn't, the center of attention? Who wants not to get it? That dude, to walk in, that type of thing. I used to play football. Now, that was my first love. I was also, I went to Bayside, and they always tell you, you know, like, I was short. I'm short. I was short. What the fuck is that? I am short. And so they would say, you know what? You're too short to do this, or you too this to do that. And I brought into that height, not knowing that I really had the talent and the ability. I was the only one who didn't really know that I could have been a professional ball player. I say that to say, in the comedy game, any game really, you know, as a musician or any type of a craft that you have, it's not, you know, combative where you don't have to, you know, get in the ring or a mixed martial artist or anything. And outside of Herschel Walker, he's a freak of nature.
Yeah.
He's like 60 years old and he's still doing mixed martial artists. And he looked like he's about 32 years old. You know what I'm saying? You still can do whatever you want to do. Like when you're older. I'm older now, but, you know, I feel like, you know, I'm 35, 36 years old, whatever. So I'm not buying into that hype where I'm too short.
I get it.
Oh, you feel me?
I will say this. When we get older, I think for me, as I'm aging, like I got better with the things that I do now.
Okay, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? You know, like you know, when I still go hit the heavy bag, you know what I'm saying? I don't have the old explosive speed I had in my 20s, but I know, but I've learned, I realized that I mastered the fundamentals so well. It's like riding a bike. I can still shoot that shotgun jab, that, you know what I'm saying, that straight right hand and that left hook. That's it's like riding a bike. You know what I'm saying? I can hit the bag and not even look at the bag.
Okay.
That's how, you know what I'm saying? But it took me to get a little bit older and get my ass kicked a couple times in the ring too.
Yeah.
So I definitely get what you're saying. And I think that in our culture, as far as hip hop, comedy, because I believe hip hop and comedy and sports are synonymous with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we put an age limit on things. I don't know why people do that, because people say, hey man, you 45 years old, you still got a rap dream. You ain't make it by now. You know what I'm saying? Or you want to be a comedian and you ain't make it yet. You know what I mean? And because people want to say you old. And to me, that's BS.
Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of people buy into that psychological stuff. And that's basically what I was trying to say earlier.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, when they, tell you what you can't do, they're telling you what your limitations are and stuff like that. But
absolutely, yeah, definitely. And I think you 100% right. People do buy into that all the time.
All the time.
You know what I mean? And motherfucker tell me, I you got a rap dream, especially women. And I'd be like, bitch, you still got a stripper dream. How about that? The fuck you mean I still got a rap dream? But
but that shit is real though. And I mean that's people don't have an understanding as far as to just live and let live, or that have an understanding of what a person is trying to do. And people like, they don't understand, like, if they don't see me working, or if I'm not on the road or anything like that, they think you're not doing anything. You think you're not ambitious enough, but they don't know what goes on behind the scenes: the writing, the calls, the negativity, the frustration of like calling this one and trying to get on, and they tell you, oh no, you hear that no, like a salesman. You got to just keep moving ahead. Doesn't matter.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
You know your worth and you know your purpose. Always like with football, I coach, and you always got to let the young men know, maintain your focus. Always keep your focus, no matter what it is. Just do that. Not now. I'm going back to school. Why not?
Yeah, education is important. You ain't too old for education.
No, but I want to pursue the ministry. I want to get into that and, go further. I like, I read a lot. I read, scriptures and stuff like that. So I like to apply that. And like with comedy, for me, I do observational comedy, about like New York City. What I used to do, I used to live uptown. I used to ride the train. I used to get on the A train. I lived on 123rd Manhattan Ave. I get on the A on 125. I go all the way to 207 Dykeman, and then come all the way back to 168. Jump on the one train. I did that because I was observant. I was watching this, watching everything, took in the flavor of the city, and that's where my comedy comes from. Basically, I talk about the attitudes of New Yorkers. I talk about how you can walk out in New York City and ask one question to three different people, get three totally different responses, which is true. I did that.
Yeah.
The dude came, I asked one dude, I said, it's just simple. I said, excuse me, brother, you had a time. I said, time, the fuck I look like a clock?
Yeah.
And, he just barked on me. I said, wow. So that's how I started putting my comedy together. Subway routine, and then I actually called 911 one time, and they did put me on hold. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, I know automation is on, it's on another level.
So what the fuck? They put me on hold.
You're on hold. Thank you for calling New York City 911 emergency help hotline. 911, all our operators are busy now. Please hold. And that's where I got the bit from. I said, damn, if you're being shot at, press 1. If you're attacked with a knife, press 2. And if you're black in a white neighborhood or white in a black neighborhood, hang up now and call an Uber.
Yeah. I feel you. Now, so what other comedians inspired you to get into comedy? Like, what other, like, I know you named a few, Richard Pryor, Sinbad, a few others, like, but who was one of your favorites that pulled you in?
Well, like, the cats that really wrote, that were intelligent, like Godfrey Cambridge, George Kirby. Like I said, I do a few impressions. I do voices. I never fashion myself as an impressionist. And of course, that wasn't my forte. I did voices. I do, dialogues and stuff like that. But I like Kirby and then George Carlin, Red Fox, a whole brand of different cats. And
Gotcha.
also like Timmy Rogers and stuff like that. Some of the old Jewish comics like Jackie Mason, Shecky Green, even Woody Allen, you know, in that era, around that time, just watching these guys work, working the mastery of working an audience and having material. I have well over an hour and a half of material, and what got me about you, because you were doing the camera where you were doing your thing that day when I first saw you, and you had that look. I said, you know what? If I can hit him, if I can get him, you were my gaze.
Yeah.
You would give me the ice grill. I said, yo, if I could crack him, I know I'm good. I know I'm all right. Then I could spread it out. We had a small audience that day, but you were my,
Yeah.
bam, I was playing off of you. But that's what you got to do sometimes. If you're working on a small audience, you have to look. You have to see, like, who's who and what's what. My worst show.
True. So basically, you were on the fly type of guy, just like myself, And real quick, shout out to my man Rudy from Rude Rangers Network and all that. And I know, Rudy, you've been saying you want the Money Marv report to come over there, so you know what I'm saying. This is going to be the opener to the Rude Ranger Entertainment Rudy Radio thing. We're going to bring the Money Marv report to the thing. Just know this, Rudy. I don't do that pop shit. I do this hip-hop shit, and I curse, and I love to do what I do. So thank you for your comment and saying a great interview. I sincerely appreciate you tuning in. And let me give another shout out. Shout out to Doll Dancer Entertainment. Doll. Love you, baby girl. Now, Mr. Mason, so let me ask you this. Now, how do you go about memorizing your monologue?
Well, I put it's just playing off of everything. Segues. Like I said,
Gotcha.
I deal with the New York City attitudes. I work it out. I got it. It's constructed. As far as like, I know where. If you tell me to do 15 minutes, I know where 15 minutes is at. From beginning to end. So it's choreographed that way. It's laid out. You need it. If you need 45 minutes, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay? I can piece it all together. But it's like I'm dealing with New York City attitudes, and then I'm going into like with TV. I talk about being on the road. Talk about interracial couples. I talk about the old TV shows and stuff like that. Tied it in, and then it's all pieced out. It's almost like an arrangement in music, if you will, and choreography and dancing. It's like that. I love comedy. I love making people. I love seeing people laugh. I love touching people's hearts. Mm-hmm.
So now, when you was growing up in school, were you making jokes all the time and making people laugh, or this was just something you just did periodically as a kid?
Periodically, but you know what? I'm just, just being real, just keeping it, speaking from the heart, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
You're funny, but you don't try to be funny, but you just speak the truth. You speak what you feel, and what you see as the truth, and the shit is funny. You know what I'm saying? It's like in that.
Of course.
And Goodfellas, where you said, "What do you think I'm funny? What do you mean funny? How? The fuck you mean I'm funny?" But that's how people look at it. That kind of thing. Not trying to be funny. It's just, when you real, when you really, giving yourself, people look at you like, "Damn, what the fuck is he talking about?"
I think for me, when people say that I have a funny personality, and people say that my family members my aunt always tell me, my aunt Dee Dee, my aunt Marjorie, she down there in Georgia, shout out to her as well. She always tells me that I should do comedy. And I tell people, see, I'm not, I'm an introvert. I don't have that. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't have that, like, I can stand on stage and make people laugh. Now, if I'm sitting down, like how we chopping it all day, it's going to be jokes all day. It's going to be, because I'm in a more natural setting. I think when people who do stand up, I give them brothers props, and especially a brother like yourself. I give you props because that is hard as a motherfucker to do, and you cannot please everybody with your comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I want to ask you this: how do you handle a combative heckler?
It depends, like how they coming at me. For example, I was in at the Peppermint Lounge with Talent. Talent was hosting. It's a few years ago, and saw Tretch from Naughty by Nature. He was in the audience. He was in the crowd along with Pepper, right, at that time. And some dude was with him, and he was fucking with everybody that went up. I wasn't supposed to go up. I was hung over. I
was hung over.
I was hung over. I actually gave another brother, a ride. And as I said, I was supposed to go with Bob Sumner, who was actually Bill Bellamy's manager at the time, 9th Avenue Management. Bob had known me. He used to come to, I used to be in Jersey at this club with Hoagies. And Bob was like, yo, G, you do me a solid B, you go up. He said, this dude I'm going to put up first, he's going to get booed off. All right? We put him up last week, he got booed off. Go behind him. I know you're a professional. I said, Bob, what you going to give me? He said, I give you 75. I said, for what? How long? And he said, do 15 minutes for me, B. He said, it's going to, you're going to hold your own. This dude will get booed. Just go up. And
just go up and do you.
And this dude was an asshole that was fucking with everybody. And Talent has seen me work. I had, I didn't really know him that good. I had worked with him a couple of times in New Rochelle at the Palace. They had a club back in the day. So Talent knew what I could do. He knew I get my shit off. I do my thing. So he gave me a great introduction, the whole nine. But this mother, it was like 500 people in the crowd that night. And he just kept going in. And what I did, I just ignored him. I didn't even, I didn't give him anything. I gave him no place to go. Feel me? And so he just, the crowd was like, it was a tough audience. I did what I had to do. I got my little money, and that was that. Talent went up, and he said, listen, man, you were a real asshole. He said, first, I love what Talent did. He brought the dude up on stage, which was a beautiful move. Like, motherfucker, you think you funny? Come on.
Gotcha.
Dude, he was trying to tell a story. He was drunk. Nobody knew what the fuck he was talking about. But basically, you dealing with hecklers, man, sometimes you got to give them the standard lines or just let them, burn themselves out. You got classic hecklers lines. Like I used to play in Brooklyn at a club, a white club, Italian, or Pips. You heard of Pips. You know Pips, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, Rodney Dangerfield, Joan Rivers, David Brenner, that's where they come from. And one night, I had to follow Angel Dice Clay. Dice walked in the room, and this is when Dice was hot. This is when Dice was arenas. He was selling out Madison Square Garden, baseball fields, and shit like that. I got a little 15 fucking minute spot for $20 on a Thursday night. Okay, and I tell the owner, Dice walks in. I said, "Oh, it's a packed house, like 150, 200 people or something like that." And that was a heckler's room. I mean, them Italians there, they light into you. They say whatever. They call you a moolie. You know what a moolie is? The fucking moolie. Hey, I'm talking to you. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy. Yeah. But Dice walks in. The owner said, "Oh shit, yo, George, I gotta put Dice up." I'm like, "Yo, Seth, please, yo, B, let me go up, man. I got 15 minutes. Give me my $20 and let me get out of here. I'm not going to follow. I can't follow Dice. Are you serious?" So that was a situation there. He put me on after Dice. Dice was Dice. and there was no way I could follow him. No way. It was impossible. You feel me? But
Yeah.
we deal with hecklers, man. Sometimes you just gotta stop them. Sure, you got the mic, so you have control basically. So you can shut them up if you want to be brutal. You know, you got the basic stock standard comeback lines, heckle lines for any situation. You know.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
I get it. Now, now, you wasn't shy enough. You weren't a shy guy, obviously, to get on stage and like to do this. Because, like I said before, it's hard as a motherfucker to do this. And like, when you're on stage, right? And it's like, do you like you said you look into the crowd, but in the beginning stages of your career, was it harder or easier than it is now?
It's hard. It's definitely hard because you don't know who you are. You don't have a voice. I didn't have a voice. And, for me, I was trying to find my voice. I used to hide behind the little voices I did. Howard Cosell, Ali, Tyson, stuff like that, Jay Leno. I'd hide behind them. I'd come out, do a little Jewish character like Jackie Mason. I'd come out, I'd talk like this. I said, hello, how are you? And hide behind them. And wherever the laughs went for them was good. It gave me confidence to come out, to try a bit, to try a little, the stuff about the New York City attitudes. So I was finding myself, finding my voice. Now I have a voice. I know who I am. I could come up and just talk about, that's what I was talking about, being addicted to cocaine. How come I haven't made it yet? I'm in the game for so long. I've worked with everybody. I started with Tracy Morgan used to do shows for me. I started when Bill Bellamy went out to Cali. I started doing Club 88. And then I had just met Tracy Morgan through Uncle Jimmy Mack. That was the brother that died in the car accident. Rest in peace and God bless Uncle Mac. I was good tight with Uncle Mac. He said, yo, B, I want you to meet this brother. I said, who? Tracy Morgan. I said, who? He said, he's uptown, man. He got them niggas kicking chairs. I said, what the fuck you mean he got him kicking chairs? That means they kill him at Uptown Comedy Club. I put Trey on the show. So Trey used to work for me. So the point I'm making is like Tracy Morgan, even though he did shows for me, I used to host at the Cotton Club when Chucky Chuck Rap put me on, opened up for Phyllis. We had guys that came in that just first started doing comedy. They made it. And there a lot of people was like, yo, G, but I was getting high. I had a cocaine, crack addiction, and I'm not ashamed to say it as far as but that's what I went through. It was a battle, it was a struggle for me. But my focus was that. I didn't have dreams of really making it. I thought I had made it because I can go into a crack spot and get crack on credit. I thought I had arrived. I said, shit. Niggas was like, yo, G, do that bit. Motherfuckers wanted me to perform. I walk in, oh, shit. And you'd be surprised when you see in a crack spot. That walk in, like, oh, shit. There's this old lady, call her, like she was like 90, Miss Mary. It's like, listen, whatever you do, that's what you do. That's your business. Wasn't that she was so old. It was that she was short. Miss Mary was short $1. She was like, yo, Miss Mary, I ain't got no money. I'm short. I ain't got $1. I need my, motherfucker, give me the $1. What was you doing at my door last night? Miss Mary blowing shit up. Fuck out of here. But
Gotcha.
Who's smoking crack, who's doing dirt or whatever. You feel me? That's their business, to be honest with you. If you're doing whatever you're doing, that's your, that's what you do. Okay? But yeah, that's what my focus was, basically. So I didn't have aspirations of being a big, because I was working with everybody. I already had the benefits. I'm getting high. I got 3 or 4 girls. Shorties, I'm hanging out. I'm up all night. Girls, 4:35, banging on the door, ringing the bell. When I was uptown, it was crazy. They used to call my spot like Grand Central. I had so many girls a day. It was ridiculous.
You came up in that era when crack was crack and cocaine was cocaine, not this shit that they got today.
Well, crack wasn't. It was base. You know, it was just free base. You know, crack. I never really smoked crack. I smoked base. You know, I used to get the coke and cook it up. I get an 8-ball, a couple of grams of coke, and then I cook that shit up. I did that joke, you know, about drinking crack because I had tried to cook it up. I had an 8-ball and tried to, you know, make like these girls, man. When you get to the crackheads, them bitches, man, them bitches like could be like chemists. They got that formula down pat. They can make that shit come back solid rock, you know. But I couldn't cook. I didn't know how to cook, you know. So
you didn't have that formula down. You didn't have that recipe to you know what I'm saying, to bake that cake. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, and then I like, you know, getting that sensation of, you know, when you hit that, you know, bam, you get that, because I can sit there and sniff all day. I'm going through grams. I had a Colombian connect, and you know, back in the day, and he bust me up with, you know, I get OZs for, you know, for nothing, you know. So I got, you know, you get 28 grams, you know. Sometimes I get 31 or 32, whatever, and it wasn't even a drug dealer or even tried to sell it, but I was just basically getting high, you know, and that was basically it. You know, even though I had the talent, the skill, and I still do, my focus now is just, you know, I write, I have one situation comedy, 2 reality shows that I've already written. Okay. So my whole thing now.
So now let's talk about that now. You put it out there, you know, you talking with the hip hop conversationalists now.
No doubt.
What's that now? You got some reality TV thing you want to put together, some film or something, like a pilot for it?
Yes, sir. I got 2 that are already written. One is called "Can She Turn Him Straight?" And the other one is like, "No, I'm not a lesbian. I just like girls."
Oh.
And the situation comedy is called Mason's Place. And but those are already finished. Those I'm pitching those. So like I said, I didn't have focus to be a big star, because in my head I was already a star. I'm already getting recognized going out. And when I worked with Sinbad, I was at the restaurant eating at the show, and I don't know how many autographs I signed. You know, what was good about working with comics and stuff, you know, because they come for the show. You know, I have been working with Jerry Butler and those cats like that, and Dionne Warwick. It was a different audience. Jerry Butler actually went up. I did a joke. I did a little bit about Jehovah's Witness, and when the guy in the audience, when he yelled something out, as a matter of fact, he turned his back to me. Yeah. And wow, Mr. Butler came up, and now this is his crowd. They come to see Jerry Butler. They don't come to see George Mason. And he said, "Yo, man, what was that you did to this young?" He reprimanded him. He made the brother turn his chair around like, "Yo, man, that was really very disrespectful what you did to him," and such and so on. Frank Gorshin also did that to an audience member. I was doing a joke with Frank, and Frank had, you know, Frank was Batman, and he was one of Dean Martin hosts. Frank worked with everybody, with Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, you name, like the major acts and stuff like that. And Frank Gorshin tried to befriend me. He did. He actually called my home, but I was so out of it. I'm so drug cracked out of it. You know, I didn't know what he was trying to do with me and for me. He actually came to see me. I was working in New Haven, Connecticut, and Frank came to the show. I was shocked. The owner, it was like a wise guy room, young Italian. He was connected. And when he seen Frank Gorshin come through, he ran up, he hugged me like, "George, please let me meet Frank." You know, Frank came to see me, but it blew my mind, man. And that was like, you know, a thing where I realized that I had something, you know, in the whole thing. You know, a dude like that who's been in the business, who's seasoned, to take an interest in me, that kind of thing.
That's
So
dope. That's dope.
yeah, but yeah, man.
And I say it's dope, and because that's dope that people they seen your potential, they seen your talent. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard for people in this day and age to see your talent and to see your potential. You can have potential in this day and age, and people will overlook that like I don't know what.
That's true.
And it's sad that it's like that, especially in our community, amongst our own people. So,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You should be proud of that, brother. That's dope, man. That's very dope. Now, go ahead. What'd you say, my brother?
I said I appreciate what you said. Thank you. Yeah.
No, you're welcome, my brother. I'm gonna give you, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you your crown. I ain't gonna give you roses because roses die. I'm gonna give you your crown. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to Lorenzo Knox on the check-in, man. What's up, my brother? Thanks for tapping into the reboot of the Money Marv Report. I will be live every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. to 10:30. And if y'all don't know who this brother is, I'm gonna reiterate it for everybody that's just tuning in. This is New York City comedian, the legendary George Mason, because I only deal with legends here on the Money Marv Report because this brother is a legend in the comedy world, and that's who this brother is. So now, Brother Mason, so all these powerful people that you named, they seen your potential and they seen that you had skills on that microphone. You was emceeing without emceeing on that microphone, not rapping, because I think the word MC sometimes get a little bit confused with, you got to be rapping to be an MC. Comedians are MCs as well.
Okay.
Think about the analogy of that.
After it's soaking in, and yeah, you're right. That's heavy.
Comedians are MCs too, like, you know what I'm saying? Because when there's a show, what do? They hire somebody like you. Not, you know what I'm saying? I'm the last person I'm the last person they're gonna say we need somebody to open up the show. We can't get no rappers. So you know what? We're gonna open it up and throw it off with a comedian to come out and present some, material.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you find your punchlines?
It's with when you set that up, the premise, set up, and the punch. Like I do the thing about the attitudes of New Yorkers. Everybody in New York City has an attitude, and they're in there. Even the homeless. Okay, now I'm setting it up. The premise set up. I said I was walking down 42nd Street. This homeless guy tried to rush by me. I grabbed him. I said, "Yo, B," I said, "Where the fuck are you going? You in such a hurry? Where you going, home? Aren't you home already?" I said, my man didn't like that. He said, "Yeah, old school. I am home. By the way, get the fuck out of my house." It writes itself. It's that flow in there. It's like the irony of you in a hurry, but you homeless. Fuck is you going? Are you home already? Yeah, another motherfucker. I am home. By the way, get the fuck out of my house. Bam. And I said, yo, that's fucked up. I hear where he was coming from, and I see he had an iPhone in his hand. But what got me is like, where the fuck are they sending the bill? It's a thought process. Like you got a phone and you're homeless. Where's the bill go? Boom. You know what I'm saying?
See, I get it.
That's ill. Yeah. Huh.
That's ill. That's ill. So, your comedy, because I listened to you I watched one of your YouTube, tapings, and it was, like I said, it was dope. It was dope, man. I enjoyed it, and I was like, okay. You was at the Broadway Comedy Club?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what was one of your most favorite, memorable venues that you ever done?
Was the Sinbad gig, the 4,000 seats, and because it was like to hear that kind of laughter It was at a ski resort. And I remember the next week, George Carlin was coming in. And I had worked with Sinbad twice. I did the show at the Palace Theater in New Haven, Connecticut, which was right around that corner from where Frank Gorshin came to see me, was Joker's Wild on Crown Street in New Haven, Connecticut. And it was 27th, and the next day we were at the Paramount in Springfield, Mass, like 2,500 seats. And then they called me up to do a third gig with him, was the Big Birch Ski Resort, was 4,000. And when you hear laughs like that coming, it was like, whoa. And it was almost like orgasmic. It was like a feeling like, whoa, I got an incredible rest from that. That's why comedy is like, people that laughs, and, people like to get that, because it charges you spiritually. And I never experienced anything like that. Plus Sinbad, his people, his brother and sister were his managers. They gave me my own trailer. Matter of fact, Sinbad went next door with the tech people and I didn't have anybody to share it with. And I actually cried because I didn't have anybody to share it with. And it was a moment because I was in a trailer, Sinbad's trailer. I was in there by myself, had the fruit, the whole nine. That was the best gig, I think, that I ever had where, I've been on television the whole nine, but for me, like comically, and to really get something from it, that was my best gig.
That's dope, man. That's dope, man. I get it. So now, do you have any gigs in the current lineup where you'll be performing at?
I have something coming up in March. Oh, I'm sorry, March. In a couple of months, we're going to be at the After Live over on in Laurelton. You know that spot? I think.
No, I'm not too familiar with that area, but.
Oh yeah, it's in Laurelton, and I'll be back with Chucky Chuck Rap, and before this pandemic hit, I was working on my one man show because I have so much material. I have like stuff, man. It's just I'm just want the public to see it. I'm dying for it to get out there because it's well written, and as you said, like being an MC, like that kind of thing. I take pride in my comedy. I take pride in my writing, and that's why I was saying with the hip hop conversationalists, with the old schools like Eric B and Rakim and these cats, man, that were really prolific. When you talk about Nas, Biggie, Pac, and them cats, Jay, Jazzo, where they stuff that they were talking about, even LL, right? Yeah. The Lox, you got the Dipset, them cats with Cam and Jewels, and I know my history with hip because that's where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? And I know that everybody's talking about that battle with Lox and
the Dipset, yeah,
man, Jada. One word, Jada Kiss. Who won? Jada Kiss. Jada.
He slaughtered them dudes.
Slaughtered. He slayed them. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? I like Cam. Cam is Cam. All right, paid full. You know what I'm saying? But yo, Jada Kiss. Jada.
Definitely. I agree, definitely. Yeah. And they did that deliberately though. And see, go ahead.
No, I say, what you mean? They did it deliberately.
They did that. I'm saying the Lox. Jada Kiss is the front man for the movement of the Lox, no matter what. They did that deliberately because they wanted to show Nas and Jay-Z. I'm saying those brothers because those brothers are nice. You know what I'm saying? Now listen, Jada Kiss can fuck with y'all lyrically. Y'all don't want that type of smoke. Y'all don't want no verses with him.
Okay.
That's what I mean by they did that deliberately and purposely. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And I like Jada Kiss as well, but to me, and I said this on the Hip Hop Shop show, to me, the most dangerous MC on the planet is Black Thought. The most dangerous living MC on the planet is Black Thought of the Roots. I don't give a fuck who want to debate me on it. We could go at it with these about it. I think Black Thought, his whole pen game, his whole rhyme scheme, punchlines, metaphors, his content is ill. Black Thought and is crazy. I think Black Thought is underrated and overlooked, but I think Black Thought is the most dangerous MC on the planet.
What about Common? Like Common and Most Def, you know? I mean, as far as from the social content and being, prolific lyrically, when they coming at you, and hitting you with, intelligence.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And, and I even like the new record that Common has with Black Thought, When We Move or something like that. It kind of got that Afro-centric kind of African type of sound to it. And I believe it's off Common's new album that's supposed to come out this year, Beautiful Revolution Part 2. Got to check that out, folks. I'm co-signing that joint with Black Thought and Common and Black Thought. We Move, hands down, it's a dope joint. It's a dope song, and it's conscious, as you just said, intellectual, and it make you think. And I think that's what's missing today in the climate of hip hop.
Little Nas X, come on, really? That shit is sad. What the fuck? Come on, B. You know what I'm saying? I mean, somebody should really pull him to the side, check him. And you got all the other shit out there, the ridiculous, the tattoos on the face. Listen, whatever you do, that's what you do. I'm talking about like Gucci Man, put an ice cream cone and Birdman, all that shit. It's ridiculous. It's like your boy.
Shit. Yeah.
Shit. What's his name that just got his ass kicked? Wilder. He came out with all that clown shit. B, you're a professional fighter. You deserve to get your fucking ass kicked. Everybody dumped on him. I mean, really.
I agree. I agree. And Deontay Wilder, I'm sorry, folks. I'm not. I had a feeling that he was going to lose to Tyson Fury, and I think he's going to lose again. When they fight next month, right? Next month of September.
Supposed to.
I don't think it's going to be no knockout shit, but I think they're going to give it to Fury and in that triangle, that rubber band shit, and keep that shit moving, because Deontay Wilder, he's a brawler. He's not a boxer. And, and I think him blaming Mark Breland, because Mark Breland threw in the towel. Mark Breland is a 5-time New York City Golden Glove champion. You know what I'm saying? And he was blaming Mark Breland for whatever the reason is. Cut the fucking excuses out, man. You know what I'm saying? You lost. Same shit with Manny Pacquiao. You lost. It is what it is. And I want to just say, you know what? Real quick, what's this gentleman? He was in a plane crash. Javante Tank Davis, man. My brother, I'm glad you're safe and you're not hurt. The plane didn't take off and crash and stayed on the ground and actually crashed, which was, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't. No.
Yeah, man. Javante Tank Davis, his plane crashed, man. It didn't even leave. It didn't even go into the air.
I didn't even
go into the air.
Wow.
Y'all was on that boy's side.
Most definitely, yeah.
Cause I don't know no people living from no plane crash.
Nah, that's real.
I don't know too many people living, but I definitely agree with you on the Wilder thing, and I think Fury is gonna win this fight again. And I don't want to hear that the fight is fixed, because what you gonna say, brother Mason?
I'm gonna agree with you on that. Wilder out of Tyson Fury is going to win this next fight, because, once he got his eardrum broke, and that cat, man, he put a hurt on him. He hurt him. When you get hurt like that shit is psychological. You fucked up going in because you're thinking about what happened, like when Ali got his jaw broke with Norton. But Ali's a different breed of fighter. This was somebody like, yo, come on, So he stopped clowning, kept his mouth closed, didn't do all that talking when he came out, buckled down. That's like when Joe Louis got knocked out by Max Mellon. Same thing. Next fight, he was training. He was serious. You know,
Yeah.
it's a whole different day. This guy Wilder wants to be Ali. He wants to be that dude. My man, you're not that dude. Not yet. You're not really fighting nobody. That's really, competitive. You dominating the division. That's really ain't nobody in the division, basically.
Absolutely.
With Hagler, with Leonard, with that middleweight, that class of fighters, with the Alexis Aguayos, with the Aaron Pryors, those cats, them dudes, Tommy Hearns, them dudes were thugs, them dudes were straight uppers. Feel me?
Those were gladiators.
Those were gladiators. It's a different division, but them cats, man, come on. Those were gladiators. That's real.
Yeah, they were gladiators. They were definitely gladiators. And a lot of times, too, I think that's missing today, because guys are getting X amount of dollars and they're going to take a little bit of punishment just to get that money.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And those fighters the fighters that you just named, that cemented the legacy of boxing to what it is today, they wasn't getting paid that much money.
Iran Barkley. These guys were just like, when you see Iran and them cats, man, yo, come on. He wasn't really one of the top, of his class at that time, but he was a rugged dude. Take punishment and he could dish it out. That kind of thing, you said,
And me just having my own personal experience in the ring, I've learned one thing. You can be physically tough for boxing, but you also got to be mentally tough. And everybody ain't mentally tough for that. And I'm going to just say this myself, saying it. Yeah, I was physically tough to do boxing, but damn, man. Man, getting, when you get your ass knocked out, man, like Manuel Marquez knocked Pacquiao out, and even when Bernard Hopkins got knocked the fuck out the ring, shout out to Joe Smith, fellow Long Islander. It's hard to bounce back from that shit.
And Bernard Hopkins is no joke. Them cats that you name is no joke. But yeah, so psychologically, it's got to be, got to be tough. Like, what was training like for you? Like, was that something that you look forward to?
Absolutely it was. I would be in the gym 6 days a week, 4 hours a day. You get what I'm saying? And I would run 4 days a week, 3.5 to 7 miles a day. On those 4 days a week I would run. And I had to learn something that even if I'm not the best fighter, I'm going to be in boxing shape, and I'm going to win every fight that I had because I was in better shape than my opponent.
I hear you.
And see, some of my opponents, they do all this old fly shit, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Second round, third round, I already know you ain't got no gas. You ain't got no gas in the tank.
Right.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dog walk you, and then I'm gonna just go to my favorite, my left hook to the body, the liver punch, because I'm gonna get my respect one way or another. So for me, training was a big part of it, to say like, yo, I gotta be disciplined and dedicated to learning the art of punching, because there's an art to punching. There's not, you know what I'm saying? There's a big art to that shit that people just don't understand. And all that Kimbo Slice shit and all that fucking backyard bullshit. Listen, guys may be getting their ass kicked doing that shit, but when you get in that squared circle and you gotta go 3 rounds, 3 minutes, I mean, feel like a lifetime.
It's a long time, man. People don't get that, but
it's hard. It's not easy as people think it is. And I would always have to mentally prepare for that every time I go into the gym. I'm like this. All right, I'm going to get better on this. I'm going to work on this week so I can touch this up, because I got this format down. but let me work on my footwork. You get what I'm saying? You know, let me learn my ring generalship. Let me learn how to control the ring instead of my opponent controlling the ring and keeping me in front of him. You know what I mean? Like, just, you know, let me make sure I keep my hand up so I don't throw a punch and drop my goddamn hand and get my, you know. So boxing, you know, training for me was like, and was a key factor. Like, you know what I'm saying? What made me be a more proficient amateur boxer, because I knew if I spent more time in the gym and I trained and I watched others that were better than me, I was going to get better. After about 8 months of being in the gym, you know, people started to look like, damn, dude, how long you been here? You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to just say my one flaw, that I still to this day have a problem with, is jumping rope. I can do everything else, but jumping rope and that goddamn speed bag, I can't even do that. I've never ever hit a speed bag ever in the gym. I've done everything else, but the speed bag, I never really even tried to.
You were supposed to be able to at least try to, you know, deal with that and try to master that. That speed bag, that's the coordination. Because when I was watching like Ali, you know, what I saw with him was not only his total commitment to the game, you know, he was like focused 100%. You know, a scientist. He always talked about the scientific aspect of art and art. Everything is an art and science to it. But that, as you were saying that, you figured out, you know, the second round, you knew like what to do. You know, duck, you know, come back up to the left, right cross, you know, that type of thing. Scientific.
Absolutely. You know, because I know if my opponents see my weaknesses, they're going to exploit that. So I'm going to make sure that I don't have no weaknesses. And I tell people be like, damn, you don't never hit the speed bag? Damn, you never hit the speed bag? Because I'm a natural athlete. You know what I'm saying? My first love is basketball.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? My first love is basketball. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a natural athlete. You know what I'm saying? I can play, you know, football, basketball, all those things like that. And when you're an athlete, you're going to be able to just about do anything you put your mind to. And you know what I'm saying? I couldn't box when I was a teenager because I was a troubled child. And I was already in the street fighting because my mother didn't want me boxing because I had an aggressive personality, which I think I should have did boxing when I was in my teenage years. Maybe I wouldn't have gotten so much shit. But you know, as we talking about boxing and we talk about hip hop and just comedy and everything else, and as people say, I'm a serious looking guy. I'm only that way because life made me that way.
No
you
doubt.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As a kid, I used to get picked on, and then when I stopped getting picked on, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
And as a kid, once I realized I didn't want to get fucked with no more, I became the hunter, and they became the prey.
No doubt.
And I know, man, because I know from experience, as when you're getting bullied, as I see kids get bullied today, and I'm like, fuck that. I ain't letting nobody bully me. You ain't taking no lunch money. You ain't taking nothing from me. And I'm still that way as a grown man. I didn't like getting my ass kicked by my mama when I was a kid. If I got my ass whooped at home, I wouldn't let nobody. I'm not letting nobody in the street whoop my ass. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
I ain't saying I'm the toughest, but I'm saying it here.
Yeah.
I ain't like when my mama whooped my ass. So when somebody whooping my ass in the fight, my mind is, damn, mama whooping my ass right now. I can't. I'm finna tear ass up.
Not having it,
yeah, you know, but psychologically, that's where you know, fighting put me, because I didn't like when my mama whooped my ass. What the fuck made you think I want another grown man in the street whooping on my ass, or another teenage boy? Hell no.
Yeah.
Ain't happening. Listen, because what would your mother say to you? You come home crying. You better get your ass back out there. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. That's real.
And that's the problem with rappers today. Y'all not getting punched in y'all motherfucking face enough.
But it's like this generation, I don't know, it's like they soft. I don't know where we lost it, the whole transition. Is it our fault? Is it the black men or the father figure, that they don't have? You know what I'm saying? Where did they get so fucking soft? Where's that masculine gene? Where did that shit go? You feel me? So I don't know. I don't have the answer for it. They everything is inside. They do everything Xbox. They play games. As a coach, as a football coach, you see these kids don't even come out. Like you say, you were booked. You was in the park. You did your thing. You was in the gym before, but you was out of the house. You wasn't on the Xbox. You wasn't on that K2 shit. You're not on the computer playing fucking games all fucking day. You was out. I know I was outside. If it snowed, I would snow off the court.
Snow, yeah, making $10-$20, yeah.
Okay, but the thing was, it's just that it's a whole different day out here, and these young men don't have an understanding of what it is to be men. And I mean, we go back to what I was saying earlier about focus. They have to have that, but then they have to have that figure. Somebody to look up to say, okay, this is the guy. When you have a dude who's dressing up like the Wilder, like a clown. We had Ali. He was always preaching what? Unity, black pride, right? And even with James Brown, I'm black and I'm proud. We had that. Some sense of, understanding it. Unity, some blackness. But you got motherfuckers like Nas X and these other, poor examples, for so-called leaders. Even Charles Barkley said, what? I'm not a role model. What kind of shit is that? You are a role model because of the position that you are. You got to take that type of shit. They just get money. And the first thing to do is to tell you, I'm paid. I don't give a fuck. I don't have to do none of that. I'm getting money. I'm paid. What does that mean, B? Huh?
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right about that. And I think that it's sad that things are that way because, and don't get me wrong, I don't want to talk about, and my name is Money Marv, right? And I'm not saying that I everything is about money with me because it's not, you know what I'm saying? I'm a humanitarian at heart. I'm in the community, feeding families. I mentor at-risk youth. So everything ain't all about money is the moral of the story. You know what I'm saying? And I know we need money to pay bills, but as you said, Charles Barkley said, I'm not a role model. I remember that commercial. That was like 92, 93, maybe 94.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
And a person like, Sir Charles, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to remember, I'm going to go ahead and say it. He's an undercover Uncle Tom.
You said undercover?
Undercover Uncle Tom, just like I'm keeping it real. He might try to he might try to act this way on ESPN, but he's an undercover Uncle Tom. Now, don't get it twisted, man. All them cats are, man. They all undercover Uncle Toms, and there's a lot of them like that. And I like Stephen A. Smith, but he's an undercover Uncle Tom. I met him once. He probably won't remember, but I met him once. Very nice gentleman. He speaks eloquently. You know what I'm saying? He's, he articulates himself very well. But, he had to do some, some hand jobs and some favors to be the face of ESPN.
That's fucked up. But yeah, I feel you. I hear you. Yeah.
I'm just look.
Yeah, but it's real.
You know what I'm saying? Because what is everybody chasing? As you just, I'm gonna rewind back. As you said, Little Nas X and all those various younger artists, they chasing the bag, the purse, and we ain't gonna give you this, we ain't gonna give you this money. You know what I'm saying? If you don't do X, Y, and Z, you know what I'm saying? And I get it. If that's what you want to do, that don't mean that I'm going to do that. But hey, to each his own.
Each his own.
You know what I'm saying? And it ain't just like that with just hip hop and sports. It's like that with comedy and all this other stuff. And
Everything.
you know,
Everything.
huh?
Everything. You're right. Yeah.
And a brother like yourself whose comedy is authentic, you know, it might be too raw and uncut for certain people. You know what I'm saying? The PDB might be like, you know what, Mr. Mason, man, we don't really want to deal with you because you know you just too over the top. I'm gonna just, you know, say it that over the top. And that's the world that we live in. Just the same thing as how I do this here. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no gatekeeper. I do what I want to do because
you have your own platform. I didn't mean to cut you, but you have your own platform. Yeah, you know.
And you know what I'm saying? Like I'm the producer, I'm the host, I'm the creator, I'm everything. Why? Because I'm Mr. Independent, and I believe in making money your own way and doing things on your own terms. So I thank my holy, merciful Father every day for giving me the skill set and the talent, you know what I'm saying, to be authentic, to be eccentric and be different and do the things that I like to do on my own terms. And I'm blessed for that. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to answer to, I don't know, I don't have to answer to this person or that person, and then people putting me in an egregious state of mind because they done said something I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Pertaining to what I do. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, there's a motherfucker that's watching right now. You know what I'm saying? You know who you are. You know what I'm saying? You know, I still got the screenshots and the messages from DJ Face Off, may rest in peace. But, you know, I'm on your ass now. And the goal for this, for the whole Money Marv multimedia brand, you know what I'm saying? Eventually we're going to get into some television and produce some internet TV sitcoms and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Me and Mr. Mason might get put a show together. You know what I'm saying? And come up with a pilot for it as well.
I'm with it, baby. I'm with it. We definitely can do that.
And I want to say this. Let everybody know where they can find you at and where they could reach you, what your platforms are, what your social media is, before we wrap things up.
No doubt. I'm simple and fast. It's Mason New Yorker at yahoo.com. On that Instagram is gmace45. And there you go. And you can hit me up, and I'll give you a number, 347-729-3880. But Mason New Yorker at Yahoo, that's basically it. It's Facebook.
Okay. Now, and if y'all want to book this brother to open up, he gave y'all all the information to book him to come there and open up and do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we need some laughter in this day and age, because I think laughter is missing.
No doubt.
Laughter is missing. And for me, y'all, I held Brother Mason up a little bit too long because, you know, I just like to talk sometimes. I'm just excited to do the reboot of the Money Marv report. But Mr. Mason, thanks for giving me some dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Some insight, some laughter, and thanks for even wanting to be on the Money Marv report, man. And I'm glad that you were the first interview that I could do the reboot with. Facebook Live, I had some technical things with YouTube, but we'll get it up there anyway on the Money Marv Multimedia YouTube page as well. Make sure y'all follow me there, subscribe, like a video, leave a comment, and all that other good stuff. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to let Mr. Mason get up out of here. My brother, you have a good night. You stay blessed.
You as well.
Take it easy, my brother. I definitely will, man. We definitely will be in touch, man. God bless.
God bless you. Peace.
Peace. All right, everybody. This is your boy Money Marv. That was my time with Brother George Mason. I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm gonna pay some bills real quick. I'm gonna jump into a quick commercial break, and then I'm gonna